So it's been 2 weeks since the war with Iran started, and guys, it's not slowing down. Because today the US bombed Karg Island in Iran. And Karg Island is a small island where 90% of Iran's oil leave the country. And Trump even said that those strikes obliterated Iran's military forces on that island. So yeah, it's getting big. But the thing is, Iran actually threatened the US by saying that if Iran's oil facilities were attacked, Iran will attack all oil facilities that would send oil to the US. Which basically means Iran will attack the Gulf countries because those are the countries that have the oil that gets sent to the US. And the Gulf countries include Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE. Yeah, so the attacks are gonna get worse. So more countries are gonna get attacked in the war. And also another country that has been getting attacked a lot since the beginning of the war is actually Lebanon. Because apparently Israeli airstrikes has been attacking areas in Lebanon where they say Hezbollah is, but apparently 773 people were killed, including 103 children. Even attacked a health center in Lebanon, which killed 12 medical workers. Like, how horrible is this? Unfortunately, as of right now, more than 2,000 people died because of this war, including 1,300 in Iran, as I told you, 773 in Lebanon. United States had 13 service members killed, Iraq 32, Kuwait 6, UAE 6, Oman 3, and Saudi Arabia 2. So yeah, 2 weeks and it's getting worse. The thing is, guys, there's actually some drama in the US regarding this Iran war because apparently JD Vance, the vice president, was against the war. Because some reports came out which showed that JD Vance originally did not want the war with the Middle East. Like, he did not want it to start even. And he was even talking to reporters today, and when they asked him about his opinion, he was like, oh, I can't say anything because it's classified. He even said that he didn't want to reveal it because he didn't want to go to prison, which is kind of weird.
I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not going to show up here and in front of God and everybody else tell you exactly what I said in that classified room, partially because I don't want to go to prison.
So, as of right now, we don't even know if JD Vance wanted the war or not. We don't even know what's the relationship between Trump and JD Vance is, like, right now. But thing is, during this event, like, while he was talking, the whole time he was like, oh, the president wanted this, the president determined that this should be the case, right? He never talked about himself. He didn't really give his opinions. So we don't know if he's blaming this war on Trump, or we don't know if he just wants to get out of the picture. No idea. So yeah, is there going to be drama between Trump and JD Vance in the future? We will see. That's very possible. We've seen Trump having drama with some people in his cabinet, like Kristi Noem, for example. So who knows? JD Vance might be the next one out, even though he's the vice president, so I don't know how easy it is, because he's the vice president. But also, guys, because of the war with Iran, apparently Saudi Arabia and Bahrain are canceling their Formula 1 Grand Prix this year. And guys, to have like a Grand Prix Formula 1 event, like, there are tons of equipments, including race cars, spare engines, tires, garages, so many things. And because ships cannot move and there are a lot of missiles, Formula 1 was like, okay, you know what? The war is very risky. Let's not have like the Grand Prix happening in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain this year. Apparently canceling this event cost Formula 1 over $100 million. That's a lot of money. But to be honest with you, that's not as serious as war, but it still happened. And it's still a big thing because more and more events are getting canceled in the Middle East because of this war. And who knows how long it's going to go for. Also, there is another country that did something because of this war that I found really interesting, guys, because apparently Egypt put a cap on bread prices. Because if you don't know, because of this war, gas prices increased by 30% and cooking gas cylinder prices increased by 22%, which means trucks moving equipment and moving food will get more expensive, right? Because they're using gas, and cooking the food gets more expensive. So the Egyptian government was like, okay, food is gonna get more expensive. That's kind of risky, right? But the problem happens if bread got really expensive, because bread is really, really important in Egypt. So the Egyptian Trade Ministry actually put price caps on bread, which basically means that they can't sell the bread for more than the price cap. So let's say, for example, the government is like, okay, you're selling the bread for $1 max. No bakery can sell the price for more than $1, right? That's the price cap. And this is an example, okay? But that's not all, because now all bakeries must display the bread prices to make sure that they're actually selling it at the right price, right? So they're not scamming people, which is not a bad idea, right? They're helping people, because if bread prices went crazy in Egypt, it will be chaos. But what's even crazier is that the Egyptian president actually said that anyone manipulating or caught manipulating bread prices will be taken to military courts. And military courts in Egypt are like strict and fast. So yeah, that's a serious threat for bread. But again, it makes sense because bread is very important. And for the last update regarding this war, something surprising happened between the US and Russia, because the US actually agreed to let countries buy Russian oil. Yeah, you heard that right. Because back in 2022, when Russia attacked Ukraine, the US was like, okay, no countries should buy Russian oil. And they put sanctions on Russia, and they told countries, you cannot or you should not buy Russian oil. Because of the war and because Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, countries were like, okay, we don't have oil. What do we do? So the US was like, okay, you know what? For a month, which ends on April 11th, 2026, right? Countries can now buy oil from Russia, which is surprising because like the US has been talking about Russia attacking Ukraine and stopping Russia and putting sanctions on Russia, but now they're like, you know what? Yeah, let's just buy oil from Russia. This is just for other countries because the US itself, it's good. It doesn't need Russian oil anymore because, as you know, they got Venezuelan oil. But yeah, some people have been upset about this because, as you know, Russia and Ukraine's war did not end yet. It's still happening. So yeah, what do you guys think? But moving away from the war with Iran, there's another country that actually launched a missile, and that country is, surprise, North Korea. Because reports are saying that North Korea launched a missile that flew towards the Sea of Japan. Gladly, there are no new wars because the missile hit the water, so it didn't hit Japan. It landed outside of Japanese exclusive economic zone, so it's safe. We don't have any new wars yet, but question is, why did North Korea even launch this missile? Like, some people are saying like North Korea was just showing off its military power and just showing people that they're strong, but why? But if you don't know, South Korea and the US are pretty close. They do military training together and stuff, and North Korea doesn't like that, so maybe that's why they're showing off that they have missiles and weapons. I don't know, but gladly we don't have any new wars. Let's move away from wars and missiles and all that stuff because we got some pretty good news today. France did something today that's actually very respectful. They returned the Gigi Ayokwe drum back to Ivory Coast. And if you don't know what that drum is, it's basically a very important drum in Ivory Coast history. Like hundreds of years ago, they used that drum to warn people of danger, call communities together, mobilize fighters during war, and announce important messages. So it was an important drum. But in 1893, France took over Ivory Coast, and then like in 1916, they were like, oh, that drum is a problem because they used that drum to call people to fight and everything. So France was like, yeah, we don't want that drum in Ivory Coast anymore. So they took the drum, and look at the audacity, because they took the drum and then they sent it to France and they put it in a museum in France. Now decades pass, and in 2017, Emmanuel Macron, France's president, said that France should return African cultural heritage back to countries in Africa. And they were like, okay, what is one thing that we have? The drum. So 3 weeks ago, they sent the drum to Ivory Coast, and today it finally arrived. And it was a big moment for Ivory Coast. They even put it in a museum there. It was a huge event. So yeah, honestly, respect to Ivory Coast for that. But one thing that we need now is for other countries to do the same thing. Like the UK, bro. Have you seen the UK's museum? Like, it's all other country stuff. Like, seriously, if the UK returned everything, the museum will be empty. But at the same time, they should return the stuff. They stole all of that stuff. But what do you think? Should the UK and other countries that stole cultural items return it back to their countries, or should they keep it in the museum? Let me know. For the last story of today, it's something that I don't usually cover, but it's super cool that I had to. Google Maps is finally getting a new update, and guys, it's actually wild. Because first of all, you can ask Gemini, like Google's AI, about like complex questions. Like, let's say, for example, you want to go somewhere and then another place and then another place. Instead of like calculating the distance and time on Google Maps, you can just ask the AI, give me the best route, tell me what to do, and it will. It's actually amazing. Even added a new design showing 3D buildings, roads, stop signs, traffic lights, and it can even plan road trips for you. Let's say you're in the car and going to a new country. You can ask it to plan a whole road trip. Like, tell it where to go, tell it what are the best places to go in that country, and it will give you a whole like tourism plan basically. Instead of asking tour guides now, you can just ask Google Maps, which I found pretty interesting, right? Like, seriously, Google has all the reviews, has all the good spots. Just ask Google Maps and they will tell you where to go. I actually love this feature too. Another thing, they made the voice a little bit more realistic, at least a little bit more, you know? So that's good enough for me. Honestly, it's a good update, but as of right now, the update is only in the US and India, but it's coming out to different countries pretty soon, I assume. But there is one little issue with it, right? A small issue is that Google might put ads in Google Maps. Yeah, it's weird, but Google apparently said that they're thinking about adding ads. They didn't do it as of right now. Google Maps doesn't have any ads, which is pretty cool, but it's an idea. They're thinking of it. So that's the little problem. But other than that, it's an amazing update, to be honest with you. Now the debate remains. Will Google Maps beat Apple Maps now? Because I think those are the two big ones. I don't know. Is there a third one that I don't know about? Anyway, that's it for today, guys. That's all for the stories. And again, if there are any stories that you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow.